Well, what did I say in my last video? Even though I picked him to lose, never doubt the takedown goblin. And as a seasoned Merab disliker, I've learned this through trials and tribulations, okay? Trust me on this one. And that's because I've seen a pattern in Merab's fights. Usually his opponents actually exceed him in the skill department, but this dude just exceeds everyone vastly in the cardio department, so the skill of his opponents doesn't really even matter. And Merab vs Umar just confirmed that yet again, because in the two first rounds where Umar wasn't as exhausted, he was pretty clearly winning in my opinion. You could see he had better striking, he was outstriking Merab, and Merab couldn't even really take him down in those early rounds either, which really surprised me. And it really surprised me that he didn't really push a pace early with the takedowns. Instead he was just walking forwards and emotionally swinging. So after the first round, I was like, Merab, you're absolutely cooked, bro. Because he wasn't shooting any takedowns, man. And that's his whole thing, he just shoots takedowns and fails them. But then during the third round, he started upping it a little bit, you know, he got to Merabing, as it's called. And it worked really well. I mean, Umar was already getting exhausted in the third round, and I was just like, Umar, you're completely cooked, you better knock him out right now or you're gonna ruin my pick. But luckily, I didn't have money on Umar, I had money on the fight going to a decision because, as I said in my prediction video, this was gonna be a very close fight. And it actually was. It was a lot closer than a lot of people thought watching it live. I mean, I thought it was 3-2 Merab, but there were a lot of competitive rounds in that fight. I mean, even the first and second round were pretty competitive, if I say so myself. And yeah, I'm not really too sad about my prediction going wrong. I mean, it was a very close fight, as I said it would be. And it's always really fun to see an upset too, even though it was Merab that pulled off that upset. And you know, he really made that fight pretty entertaining, I'd say, with his body language, his yapping and all that. So I guess I'm just gonna be a bit of a fan of the guy for like a week or something, then I'll just go back to not liking the guy again. So yeah, congratulations to you, Merab, for defeating Umar and also becoming the bantamweight champion. I mean, look at the guy's resume, I don't really think it's debatable anymore. The guy's Aldo, Cejudo, Yan, O'Malley, and now Umar on top of that. I mean, that's a pretty golden resume to me. But let's not give this guy too much praise, he's still pretty boring to watch. So let's move on to, let's talk about the main event actually. The main event was pretty uneventful, I mean, I almost forgot it happened. The results were pretty expected, I mean, even though I wanted Money Moik to win, realistically, the chances of him winning that fight were pretty low, so nothing really unexpected. He's still one of my favorite fighters though, and I really hope he bounces back against someone like Paddy Pimblett. As for Makhachev, I still think there's only two guys that can beat him, and that is Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria if he decides to move up. And that's really the only two fights for Makhachev I care about. I think he steamrolls pretty much everyone else. So let's talk about one of my favorite fighters, Jiří Procházka. And every time I watch this guy, I just become a bigger and bigger fan. I mean, the guy looked really good out there. He looked faster than usual. He looked like he had better head movement too. So basically, he just looked like a better version of himself. And I don't really know what's next for him. He said he wanted the Alex Pereira rematch, but again, we've already seen that fight twice already. I mean, I doubt it's gonna be that much different. I would still pick Pereira in that fight. But that said, I feel for Jamal Hill, man. I think Jamal Hill is a great fighter, actually. I mean, he did make it very competitive with Jiří. It was a great fight. I thought it was fight of the night easily. Way more entertaining than Merab Umar, in my opinion. And I mean, the guy tried to promote the fight. He tried to set up the fight with Alex P again. But then again, he came up short in this one, so that fight's probably not gonna happen. Which is really sad, because the guy got clowned on so hard for that interaction he had with the Alex Pereira and the PI. And now he's just gonna get nothing out of it. Like, the whole point of that was to build up a potential Alex Pereira rematch. So that probably sucks for him, because now people are gonna clown on him even harder, but it is what it is. As soon as you get a win back, people are gonna forget, man. And honestly, I didn't really care too much about this card. Kevin Holland lost, I was pretty happy about that. I mean, especially after the Jackson podcast, the guy was just unbearable. And Peyton Talbot also lost, which I was pretty happy about. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the results on this card. But that said, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.